All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. Welcome to the call. We're going to be going over how to market a pending listing to get more listings, maybe get a few buyers. You know, sellers oftentimes are going to be buying another place, so could get the double-ended where we get the listing and then we help them buy a property as well. So go ahead. I've got three. Holy nice. Shalina. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. That is awesome. Kelly, you got two. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Yeah, you're going to love this call then. We're going to go through some phenomenal ideas, proven strategies that are going to help people get more listings from a pending listing using the Listings to Leads, marketing platform. If you are a client and you can log in, go ahead and log in while we're doing this together. If you're watching this on a recording, if you're watching this later, go ahead and pause the video as needed and do it as we're going through it. Get into the mastermind group if we can be of any help. You can get with support as well, but the mastermind group is also a great place to ask some questions and share what you're doing. So at Listings to Leads, go ahead and log in. If you're not a client, you can sign up for a free trial. Everything we're going to do here, you can actually do in a free trial, no problem. And we're going to go right to listings. And so keep in mind, you can add a listing, and we've had clients that do this, a listing that is their buyer is in contract on. So they're essentially, they are the selling agent. So this works for if you are the selling agent and your buyer is in contract, or obviously if you're the listing agent. And I'm going to show you two examples. So check this out real quick. If I scroll down on the listings dashboard, I got two listings right here. And one of them, I think it's this one here. I am the listing agent. And so check out the property description. In fact, I'm going to give this to you. I'm going to give this to everybody. Larry down in Scottsdale, how you doing? So I just put this link in and I want you to look at this. And in fact, if you go to listings2leads.com/pending, in fact, let me just bring that up. If I go to listings2leads.com, pending, that's going to take me to this page right here. And so later, and right here, see the property description for this listing? And I'm going to add the other one. So when I click on it again, the first thing I do is I change that property description. So I changed the property description because I know in the marketing that I'm doing, I'm going to get more homeowners than home buyers looking at this. And I want the homeowners to see the fact that I got the listing into contract with my 100-point home marketing plan from Listings to Leads. I add a little bit about the fact that it went into contract in X number of days, generated X number of views on Facebook and social media, email, and everything. Maybe look at Zillow. How many views were on Zillow? How many buyer leads? And buyer leads are actually one of the things I think that more people should talk about with their sellers, because, a buyer lead is a name, email, phone number, typically, right? Their purchase timeframe, idea that they're looking for to buy a home. And so when we take a listing, the homeowner is trying to get us to sell their home. And so it's not about just marketing, but it's about generating leads for that property as well. And so here, essentially, this is 45 buyer leads, 12 showings and 2 offers. But there's a problem. And the problem is I've only got one home, but yet I had 18,255 other coming up here, right? Potential buyers, people that saw this property in their feed, in their email, right? And they interacted with it, what have you. And so get that in there. And then if you're open to the idea of potentially selling your home, please keep reading. We still have you see that right there. Phrase it however you want. And then I've also got in my single property website a video. So I've got a video. Now this is just a demo video for it, but I would want you to, if you like this idea, do a video about how you get properties into contract or how you get properties sold. What is your marketing plan for getting those listings sold that you've got? And again, if you were on the buy side, we'll talk about that in a minute. So I got a video there talking about getting that property sold. I got all my other marketing in here, my 3D tour, my property videos, but right here, my 100 point home marketing plan. So this is default in your listings to leads, single property websites, and virtual tours. People can literally download the 100 point home marketing plan right from your single property website. It's going to be branded to you, all of your colors, your logos, your picture, and everything will be on there. So as we're doing the marketing and as we are generating leads, as we're generating traffic from the seller sphere of influence, from the buyer sphere, from the ads, from the posts, from everything that we're doing, right? If we change up this just a little bit, we can actually engage more people. And I will walk you through briefly how that works. And then let me close this one. And then I mentioned, so this will another listing that's pending. So the one in Folsom, if I click on view, now notice this one, I represented the buyer. And we have literally have had clients get listings from doing this kind of marketing. So they're buyers in contract. They add the listing to listings to leads. They market it the way we're going to talk about today, and they get listings from it. It's not that hard. But you can see here, I changed my property description now to represent the fact that I represented the home buyer. And so I'm going to drop this. I thought I had this on that URL at, I'll make sure to get that at listingstoleads.com/pending later. So again, if you're watching the recording and you go to that URL, you should see both of these links, and you can just take what I got, copy it, just copy it right here. And I'll show you in listings to leads where you drop it. All right. So we copy that. And so in listings to leads, if the listing is already in your account, let's say the listing is active, just click right there on the status, select the status that you want it to be. So the new status, all right? So pending, and this is good for in contract, under deposit, active contingent, or pending. So any of these statuses, this is good for. So change it to the status. All the tools will automatically change. So all the call to actions, all the language around the lead capture are going to change, so that now when I do my ads, my post, all the different marketing in my farm, the language around that listing now is completely changed. And to change the property description, or if you want to edit anything, click on edit right here. So you see you got the property address. There's view for the single property website. There's edit. So I click on edit. And you'll see here we got pending. And again, I still have the status drop down. I can change the status. Custom banner, I can say pending in 23 days or whatever is appropriate that you want to do. I got my headline. If you want to add tags, you got your tags right here. So if you want to add a tag for your CRM, that will flow through your CRM. But if I scroll down right here, so under property description, this is where I changed all of that. So again, I want my property description to go from a buyer focused and a buyer value add to a seller focused. So that when homeowners, when potential home sellers see my ad, see my post, see the nearby homeowner letter, right? See all the great marketing tools that we've got, send a text off the sign writer that we'll talk about a little bit later, that they're going to see now that I'm speaking more to them versus a home buyer. Does that make sense for everybody? And there we go. Let me think here. So we talk, if you've got a listing, maybe you're new to listings to leads, maybe your buyer's in the contract and you want to add that pending listing to your account, you may have to do it manually because we won't be able to have it in the data feed. You could try to grab it, but it probably may or may not work. So I could add the zip code and the MLS ID number and grab it. But you don't want to use the listing agent's photos without permission. So what I would do is I would take a photo of the property, right? When I'm at an inspection or drive-by, take a photo of the property, come back to listings to leads and go add listing manual, change that status right there at the top. So you see status. And again, I can, any of these statuses, was great. I'm gonna go pending and just add in the information. I mean, it should literally take about 5 minutes, right? Take the property description right? Take, how do we want to call that? Property description, for lack of a better term, I guess, at this point. So take my example. Again, copy and paste it in here, edit it to be appropriate for you and your listing. Click save and add photos, add 1 to 2 photos, whatever it is that you got for it. And then the listing will drop right onto your account. So it will display in listings to leads, just like what we saw a minute ago. So again, right here. So now I got my pending listings. And when we're ready, click the green market listing button. Now I'm going to do this training just a little bit differently. So I'm going to go out of order because I want to make sure that we get some things done ASAP. And I'm telling you, one of them is I want your sign writer. If you're the listing agent, if you're the seller's agent, if you're the buyer's agent, i.e. the selling agent, but if you're the listing agent, I want your yard sign to have this on it. All right, I'm going to show you where to get it, but go get one of these, sale pending, right? Whatever you call it in your MLS. So grab one of those, because the neighbors, we know that when a listing sells, other listings are going to sell, right? Or come up for sale. Other homeowners are going to go, oh, the 333 Main Court, whatever it is now in contract. It's going to sell soon. It's going to close escrow. And so we know that's going to motivate other people perhaps to list their home for sale. So I want as much coverage in that farm area for that call to action, right? For those homeowners to be able to reach out to me. And so here I've got and if we don't do the pending sign writer, they're not going to know. They're not going to know that the listing is pending. So we're losing such an opportunity to engage local homeowners, people walking their dog, people driving by. They're going to drive by. Now, when you've got the pending rider on top, they're going to go, oh, that's pending. That's been for sale for however long. Now it's in contract. Now it's contingent. Now it's right, whatever you call it. So get that up on top. And then notice that right there. Get your home's value now. I would also, on my yard sign, add the pending flyers, right? So I want my yard sign to say pending. I want this rider, and I'm going to show you that's in your account right now. And then I want a plastic flyer box, because I want either people to be able to send a text and or grab the flyer, because if they grab a flyer, and I'll show that to you here in a minute, and they scan the QR code on the flyer to go to the pending property website, they're going to be able to get their home value there as well. So if you set up your yard sign like this, you are going to be in a very good position. So before we do anything, I'm going to slide down to sign writers right here. And if you're not subscribed to the Listings to Leads text IVR service, I highly recommend that you do it. You should have a sign writer like this over here on the right-hand side. You can change the colors. This will be all to your brand, but I can change the colors by clicking customize. And I can download whichever version I like. So I'll download that. And then you're going to see right here, dirt cheap. Now I can send it to my local sign writer company, but we got dirt cheap signs right here. And if I click that, it's going to open up right here. Yard signs. There's an upload file. I have legal rights to use this image. All right. So we're going to just go through. We're going to select the download, hit next, do full color. It's just our wizard right there. So we got that. Looks fabulous. All you got to do 18 by 24. So there's different sizes. So select the size as appropriate for you. Save and check out. Yes, I approve. And then here, you got single or double, aluminum or plastic, grommets. So if you want to hang it, right, you'll need the grommets. And aluminum is 40 bucks. Now these are completely transferable. So the corrugated plastic, let's see here. If I do the corrugated, and that's actually fine, right? For 20 bucks. I've actually seen those and they're fine. But again, the aluminum. Now the cool thing is I can transfer this yard sign just like I can transfer, obviously I can transfer this as well. So every time I got another pending listing, I can move that around to the next pending listing and to the next one. So if you got 2 or 3 pending listings, you can do 2 or 3 of these, or you can just do one and move it around. So add to cart, get that thing ordered, and get that up on your yard sign. So change that yard sign. It is sitting there. It's going to sit there for 3 weeks, for 4 weeks. It's not moving. All right. When you're going to do a Facebook ad, probably for $50 or more for a week, right, which is phenomenal. But this right here can generate higher quality leads for you easier. And then once you've got it ordered, I can just move it around from one pending to the next pending to the next pending. So I can use that rider for 1 to 2 to 3 years as long as it stays in good condition. Any questions on that before we move on? And then as I mentioned, I will go ahead and leave this. So again, the dirt cheap signs, and you can use any sign writer company you want, obviously, right? You can download the file. There's a number of different options right here. Your number will be different. So that 182-141 is for my account. Your account will be different. And in fact, let me show you. If you don't have this column, you can go to over here, text IVR. And in fact, if anybody wants to, send a text to that because that will trip off a conversation. So when someone sends a text, now you got their phone number. So you'll get a lead notification that, 415-555-1212 just activated the lead capture for that text IVR. And then it's going to ask them, what is the address that they want a home value for? They just type in their text in their address. It's going to ask them then, do they want the home value via mail or email, like snail mail or email? And then they'll reply, and then they can type in their address, their email address. So they got their phone number, their home address, and their email address. And at worst, you've got a good phone number because obviously you got to be able to text. And so absolutely phenomenal. And that pairs up nicely with the pending listing flyer. So let's just take this one, for example. Any one of them is great. And I would absolutely make sure, go to your MLS association, go to, you can go to Amazon, I think, and order these as well. And get this on that yard sign. Now notice this right here. There's a QR code. So they can scan the QR code. They can send a text. Now, this is the text for the property website. Even the property website has lead capture. In fact, I'll show it to you here. Look at this. This is my property website. So my pending property website right here. The default lead capture, once the listing goes pending, and again, when it's sold, is now get estimated home value. So people enter their property address, click get market analysis. And now when the listing goes into contract, that lead form changes automatically. Like I mentioned earlier, right? As soon as I change that lead form or the listing from active to pending and then pending to just sold, pending and just sold are going to pop up with that default lead capture for getting a home value. So that is why we want to get this stuff in front of as many people as possible. So get this also on the yard sign. Does that make sense for everybody? Everybody get that whole idea? So the yard sign, I know it seems kind of weird. Some of you may not have expected me to come out of the gate talking about yard signs, but I highly recommend it. All right. So we got that. Now, let's go up to the easiest thing to do, Facebook and Instagram ads. For a pending listing, these seller leads come in typically at like $8 to $12, $8 to $15 a piece. Super easy to do, obviously. We got everything set up for you automatically. It's going to default to the location of the listing. So my listing is in Rockland. It's going to default to Rockland. We got the budget or the radius of 15 miles. It's going to default to a lifetime budget of $50. Now, I would bump that up to 100. All right, $50 for 1 week is a little bit light. It's not really my place to tell you how much you have to do. So I don't want to come out and do a default of $100, but I would totally recommend doing a $100 budget for a pending and a sold listing. We got clients that do $200 to $300. So that's a lot. You can work up to that. I don't want you to start off with that in the beginning necessarily if you don't have the budget for it. But if you can do $100, I would. All right. It's going to default for 1 week. As I always do my training, make sure you got a good template. So if you need to, I can click. No, I can even upload a Canva image. So if you got a beautiful image in Canva that you want to use for your marketing, just click change image, and you can even add a video. If you're just starting out with this, I recommend just staying with the default stuff. Here I can upload a custom image. So Canva, wherever I want to get that image from. If I just want to change this template, click the blue change template button. And you will see we've got multiple different templates. This is my favorite. I can change every image in this template. So let me show that to you again. There's a little button right here, edit. If I click that, now every image is changeable. So I can change out one image for another if I need to for whatever reason. Hit insert, and then I can come over here and I'll change that to the bathroom. Not normally I wouldn't do a bathroom necessarily, but just to show you. And I can change the color. I can change the text right there. No problem. And so once we're good to go here, click create ad. Now we can do a lot of other really cool things. I can do video views ad. I could upload a video here. I can retarget to a custom audience. There's a lot of more advanced things that we can totally do. And once this resets, I'm going to just walk through real quickly. Let me turn that off. Otherwise, my demo listing will be, I've actually left these ads running by mistake. And I've had people become a lead. And I was like, oh my God, don't become a lead. It's not really for sale. But let me just show you one more time here. So what I just did, confirm the location, confirm the budget, make sure the images and the template's good, and click create ad. You're going to be good to go. You don't need to do a lot of other things to generate seller leads with this, but just to show you, right? Retarget current leads. So if I got a custom audience, let's see here. If I got, I must be on a different ad account, but for whatever custom audience you've got available, will show up here. And so I can do custom audiences, no problem. And I can go daily. I can go back daily, $5. I just wouldn't do that. I would leave everything as default, put $100. Now you could get a custom audience from RedX, from My Plus Leads, from your title company, upload that custom audience of all the homeowners in the area so that the ad is seen just by them only. Sometimes though, the problem is that the data can be, if it's not great data, you're going to find that too few people are going to be seeing it. And so you don't get a lot of great leads. 9 times out of 10, I would just let Facebook put that in front of homeowners in the area. All right. And sometimes you'll get buyer leads from this, which is no problem. All right. Any questions on the ads before I move on? All right. Everybody good on that? Social media post. This will happen automatically. So there's nothing you need to do here because this will just auto post as soon as I change the status to pending. So this will be on Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google My Business, all those websites. The way it works, in fact, here, I'll show you an example. You can also connect your accounts if you need to right here. I can, again, edit the image if I want to. So if I want to upload a different image from Canva, I can schedule the post if I want to do it later, or I can click post now. I can select from the single property website, virtual tour, or a landing page. I like the single property website. The landing page will make people fill out their information from the social media post, which is totally fine. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. Hit post now again or schedule. And I'll show you an example. So here's an example of the post. All right, so it's now pending, expected to close soon. All of it's completely editable, and it's just going to link right to the single property website. And here, see, there's that beautiful thing, right? From the ad, from the post, people send the text off the listing flyer. And now I'm speaking to homeowners. And you saw that default lead form. Now they can get a home value estimate if they want to, right from my single property website. So I didn't have to do a home value ad. I just marketed my pending listing, and I'm going to get seller leads. Now, if you are the listing agent, this is critical, all right? Absolutely critical that you want to make sure that you get these tools to the seller. Too many people, all right? I've had, you can get listings, you can get buyers. It is like the seller referring you, and this is the best status for this. So what this is, it's a social media post that the seller is going to get. You're going to be CC'd on the email, so you'll know exactly when they got it. They're going to think you sent it to them because it's going to come from your email address. And how you do it is click the green send to seller button. If you had set this up previously for a different status, it will happen automatically. But assuming you didn't, just add their email, add their information, click send. You're about to send this to Ian. Great. Now Ian's going to get that email. He's going to think I sent it to him. The email is going to look very similar to this. It's going to have an image of this post, and it will have it'll have this text above it, and letting Ian know, go ahead and take that, drop it onto your Facebook page. It will create a post that looks just like this. And now when the friends and the family start liking it and start commenting on it, you're going to be able to get leads. They're going to click through the post. And again, where are they landing? They're landing on the single property website. All the great, and there's even buyer lead capture. So as they're looking down at their friend's home, right, not only do we have seller lead capture, I'm going to close that out, but we've got PDF guides for buyers, how to find the best deals in your area, 6 things to check before buying a home. So there's a lot of great lead capture there. What I also want you to do is when the seller puts that up on their Facebook page, I want you to like and comment. So just leave a really quick comment saying something like, hey, that looks fabulous. It looks great. I can't wait, to close escrow for, to get your home sale complete. So like and comment when the seller puts it up on their Facebook page, and that way you'll be notified when their friends and family start commenting. And then the friends and family might notice your comment, you as the agent, but I'm telling you, people get listings from this. They get buyers from this. So I want you to make sure that and it's absolutely free. There is also the e-flyer to send to the seller. The e-flyer is amazing. And you send the e-flyer the exact same way. All right, the e-flyer, click the green, send to seller, hit send. Now, what you're going to want to do also, after you send this to the seller, what I would do is I would call the seller up and say, hey, Ian, this is Scott. I want to let you know that, I'm going to still keep marketing your property until we close escrow. So just because you're in contract does not mean I'm going to stop marketing your property. So I did a Facebook ad, right? I did a social media post. I got some other things going on that we're going to keep doing. But I also sent you something to put up on your Facebook page and to share via email, just so that, we want to let the buyers know that, hey, listen, just because you're in contract you still got to close, and we're going to keep marketing until you do close escrow. So it's great. Hopefully the buyer sees that. All right. And so, but again, that call to action around this for the seller's sphere of influence is amazing. So make sure to get this to your seller. Any questions on this? Now, that was for the seller. Now we're going to hit the farm and circle prospecting. The nearby homeowner letter, again, I want you to keep in mind, we have had clients go into contract with their buyer on a property. The agent adds the listing to their account as pending, in contract, whatever it is, as appropriate. And they use the nearby homeowner letter and got listings from it. So if you're the listing agent, this is obvious. But I want you to keep in mind, you could be the selling agent. You represent the buyer. You can still do this. And people have done it. And so if I just click download, and I've also got something a little bit different I want you to do with this. Now I can mail it. If I can mail this, I can door knock, which is even better, right? As salespeople, the faster we get in front of people, the faster I can connect with somebody and be face-to-face with somebody, the more likely it is I'm going to get their business. So door knocking with this is absolutely phenomenal. But mailing it is great too. It just depends on what you got time for. Now, here's a little twist, what I want you to do. I want you to get this to all the expireds, canceleds, and FSBOs in that area. So all these expired listings, all these canceled listings, I want you to look up all of these, and I want you to make sure they get it too. So look up the expireds, find out what expireds and canceleds are in that farm area or in that general area. And I would door knock with that letter. And essentially you knock on the door and, all right, Larry, I'll pick on you. So I'm going to knock on your door. I'm going to take a few steps. Now I've got this letter with me, right? So I got the letter. I'm going to knock on your door and I'm going to say, hey, my name is Scott Pierce with LDL Realty. And I just want to let you know that we are now in contract at 333 Main Court, just down the street from you. All right. And I just wanted to give you some information about that. You can scan the QR code or send a text to get all the information about the listing. It's a beautiful listing, but just because it went to contract doesn't mean we stop marketing. But with the way the market is now, I just want to let all the neighbors know that it is now in contract. What I would also recommend is getting some of these chicken bags. So that way, if they're not home, notice I folded that letter. This is for a different listing, but you get the idea. So that way, if they're not home, I can leave this on their door. So they're not going to miss it. And it looks great. It's got the image of the property on there. On the backside, it's got the QR code. So they can really see the whole thing without even having to take it out of the bag. And they can actually scan the QR code right from inside the bag. So the bags, you can go to Amazon, and I totally recommend this. These are like $10. So for $10, I can get 100 of these. And then I can go door knocking with that letter and start meeting more of those neighbors. Now, if I want to mail it, you got Mailbox Power. I highly recommend. I don't recommend the service inside of Listings to Leads only because if you're going to use the letter, I want to make sure that it looks like it's a handwritten font on the envelope. So Mailbox Power, Zaire Mail, Thanks.io, I believe are all great mailing services that offer the handwritten font on the envelope. No, you can also do it yourself, and a lot of people do. So if you want to mail it, if you go to Success Stories right here, on the far left, it says Success Stories. I'm going to right click and open up a new tab so we don't lose where we're at. So open link in new tab. And I just want to show you right here. So she mailed them. And, oh yeah, in fact, she's the one. All right, there we go. Pending listing that my buyers were in contract on. And again, when it sold, she represented the buyer. All right. Listed their home for $500,000. That's 100 letters. She didn't do 500. She didn't do like 783 letters. She did 100 twice and already got a listing All right. And I'm sure she'll get more. Here's another one. And I recommend just scroll down here and take a look at some of these. All right. Door knock the neighborhood with a letter. Got a listing. Awesome. So again, I don't care if you mail it, you use a service, you do it yourself. Sometimes people, in fact, you can see here, if I take this out of the bag, I will show you what people do is they'll take that letter, so they'll print it at home, and they fold it this way. And people have gotten listings from doing it this way too. Put a little stamp right there, and then mail it. They'll just address it right here and put it in the mail. So there's a number of different ways you can do it. Just pick one and do it though. This also, real quickly, it also sits in the editor. So I click the download, but you can also go like this. Check this out. Hope you're having a great week. I want to let you know that 333 went pending in 23 days with multiple offers over the. How cool is that? So if you wanted to, I can add a little bit. Now I wouldn't add too much. Sometimes I see people, they add way too much to this and it kind of negates the effectiveness because now there's so much to read that it becomes a little bit ridiculous. So if you're going to add anything to it, keep it to a minimum. And then now watch when I click the green download button, download PDF. And again, don't forget expireds. Don't you want those expireds, those FSBOs, those previously canceled listings? I would want to get this in front of them too. So again, whether I'm mailing it with a service, I'm mailing it myself, or if I'm going to door knock, I want to get that list and make sure that I hit that list also, because again, they're going to probably relist at some point. And if I can put this in front of them and I've got my yard sign and they see my yard sign, they see the letter, maybe they see the ad, maybe they got the e-flyer from the seller. That's like 4 or 5 times potentially they have already seen me. I'm absolutely phenomenal. If you got a list where you got phone numbers, scrub it against the DNC. You can also circle prospect with this script right here. If you do, oh no, I apologize. Let me show you the postcards and door hangers because these are phenomenal. I don't want to discount these. A lot of people like the postcards as well. So let me show you. They work very similar to the letter. And if you're not inclined to do the letter, do the postcard. Right, it's got the QR code. Looks beautiful. All to your branding. So there's the back, there's the front. Here is the back. We got EDDM, we got jumbo, we got standard, we got a few different styles. Right? When this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. So notice we change the call to actions at every status. So when it's pending, it says when this home is sold. When it's just sold, it will say now that this home has sold. So again, postcard, you got the door hangers, the door hangers would be great. So here's the door hanger. This could be great as well. And you could actually door knock with the door hanger. Why not? Now the door hangers have a little bit of a longer lead time, but there's the door hanger. So if I want to door knock with that, you could do that as well. But the key is we want to engage with more homeowners. We want to get that message of pending success, of the fact that we got a property right near them into contract, because that's going to get more of them engaged and more of them motivated to reach out to us and for us to get more listings. So whether you use the letter, the door hanger, the postcard, I don't really care. It's up to you. And then again, if you've got access to the phone numbers, this is a phenomenal circle prospecting script. Next up, we want to make sure we hit our database. Our database is one of the best assets that we've got. Too many of you, you just got people, getting your follow-ups, and that's great. But we want to share the success with them. We want to get them to the single property website. We want them to get to that language that we added in there. about how we got the property into contract and how we market properties, as we saw earlier. So this e-flyer for a database, first of all, it's just beautiful. It's got the slideshow of the first 5 photos of the property. We let people know that now the home is sold, it will affect their home's value. And this is good. Send it. Don't focus on the fact that there might be some people that don't live near the property getting this. That is totally fine. All right. So the e-flyer sends people to the single property website. And this one down here sends people to the landing page to get their home value estimate. This is the free home values landing page in your Listings to Leads account. So people drop in their address, they get their free home value, you get the lead notification. It works absolutely beautiful. Now I can send this through my CRM, and I'm going to walk you through how to do that. And I can also just send it through Listings to Leads. So if I've got this here turned on from a previous status, it will send it automatically. But I can also select, send it to everybody in Listings to Leads that I've got, so all of my leads. And then lastly, I can click send test email. I would recommend that you do that as well. And you've got copy code. So if you take copy code, go to your CRM. I'll show you with Follow Up Boss. You're going to navigate to where you send out the email and find, it'll either say insert HTML or insert source. Just click it. A little pop-up's going to come up. Command V on a Mac, was it Control V on a PC to paste? Hit that, boom. Now we got that, just like in Listings to Leads. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? So I got the images rotating. I got the call to action for a free home value estimate. Just give yourself a subject line, another home pending in Rockland. So in this case, Rockland is where the listing is at. And then send that out. Get your Listings to Leads signature at the bottom. People love this. That is beautiful. Now, it's not enough to just email your database. All right. The email is just a setup. All right. The email is just a setup. What we want to do is I want to call some of the leads in my database, whether I call 5 leads, 10 leads, 20 leads, it's up to you. But the more you call, the more people get to hearing your voice, the better. And it's such a beautiful script. This is a phenomenal script. This will get more conversations going for you because it's going to start out, but then it's got 3 endings. I'm going to role play it real quickly with you. But notice as you're calling through, you're going to be able to see where they live because you'll have the address of your leads probably. And if you don't, that's fine. But if they own a home, if they live near that pending listing, there's one version. If they live somewhere around, but not near the listing, so a different area, that's another version. And if they're a buyer lead, we got yet a different version. So let's just roll through this where they own a home near that listing. So I would call you up and I say, "Hi, Larry, my name is," oh God, they're in your database, right? So I call them up. "Hey, Larry, this is Scott with LDL Realty. And I just wanted to let you know that 333 Main Court in Rockland is now pending and expected to close soon. I sent an email with a link to the property website with all the photos and details. And I just want to make sure you got that. If you didn't or you can't find it, let me know and I can resend it to you. Or you can text 1-837-10 to 25678 and get all the photos, virtual tour sent to you. With the way the market is right now, I just wanted to make sure to let you know. All right, now, if you're leaving a voicemail, that's great. And if you're talking to them one-on-one, like live, edit that a little bit to be appropriate for actually talking to them. But here's where it gets good. When this home is sold, it's going to affect your home's value and others in the area. I expect we're going to get a good price for this. Well, if it's pending, you're going to know what it's coming in at. And I might even, yeah. So we're going to, we got a great price on this. And it's going to positively affect your home value. And because of this, I will be preparing an updated home value estimate for your home. Would Larry@listingstoleads.com be the best email to send that to when it's ready? Does that make sense? So we sent the email. We call them up afterwards. It is a did you get phone call. We're making sure that they got it. We're giving them a recourse if they didn't. We're putting it in context of with the market is crazy right now. So I just want to make sure to let you know that this home is now pending. And then we're going to flip it, whether they own a home near that property, not near the property. So just use that script, or if they're a buyer. Does that make sense? So make sure, please. So many people stop at the ad and they don't do the database. They don't do the seller sphere. They don't do the farm and circle prospecting. These are where some of your best leads are going to come from. Now, obviously, if the lead is in your database, so not a new lead, but they can even be a warm lead that just needs to hear some good words. Maybe they're a seller lead in your database. I would make sure to call all of my warm seller leads that I've got, just to give them an update about specific properties going into contract. And of course, I'm going to call them again when that property sells. Because just calling them will create a conversation. All right. So we did that. And then we got, again, the listing flyers. I want those on the sign, on the yard sign. We got the sign riders. I want these on your yard sign. And we got some other things on there that aren't really so relevant for this. But any questions on anything that we covered? Any questions? So Kelly, if you're still with us, Shalina, Larry, do you have any pending listings? Oh, one more thing. I apologize. Oh my God, we got at listingsleads.com/pending. You'll go to this URL. I want you to scroll down. For one thing is 10 videos for seller leads when your listing goes into contract. I'll pop back up to that here in a minute. I'm going to scroll down and Instagram stories. This right here, you can do so many of these. I could do one every 2 to 3 days over the course of that property being in contract. All right, I'm going to click here. And so check this out. I'm going to pause. So this is a story. Now, this could be a video. This could be like a little video clip. This could be an image. This Folsom home went pending in 34 days. I want to sell my home faster. This is a poll. And I got a video walking you through how to do a poll. So the poll options are, I want to sell my home faster than this. I want the most money for my home, or both. That's a great, this is an Instagram story. This could be a TikTok. You can also do similar. You can't do a poll on YouTube, but I can definitely do the poll on Instagram and TikTok, and I highly recommend it. And I'll show you where the training video is on how to do that. It's super easy. The next story here, this gets better. So just sold, but just again, all of these, you can change the wording around a little bit. But what I want you to be thinking about is this is absolutely free visibility. And we got links in here and a couple of them. So hold on, I'll be showing you some with links. But right now, these are some polls. And you can't interact with a poll on a laptop, but you can on your phone. So after this call on your phone, go to listingsleads.com/pending. Click the link for this on your phone and then interact with this. And notice now the question here is thinking about selling your home and want to download Secrets to Selling Your Home Fast guide. And then the poll responses are, yes, I want to sell my home quickly. I'm curious about selling strategies, or I'm looking to buy. Any info for me? All right. How funny is that? That's cool. All right. So here's another one. All right. And again, it says just sold, but this could totally be pending. Thinking about selling your home? Get your current home value estimate for free now. Free home value estimate here. And notice I link right to a landing page. So I can post my pending, an image of my pending listing, right? Put that it's pending. What I did is I actually downloaded, this is actually the Facebook ad image. And I'll show you how you can download that. But I just downloaded that one. And then I got the just sold right there, or pending. Here's another one. This is awesome, right? Another home pending in Granite Bay. get my 100-point home marketing plan now. Get the 100-point plan now. People click and they go to my landing page right here. Sell your home the fastest way with our 100-point home marketing plan. Awesome. Let's see the next one. So these are all just great ideas for you. All right, here we go. That was the listing we were looking at. Pending in Rockland. Click here for photos and details. I'm linking to the property website. And again, what's at the property website? I'm speaking to homeowners about how I got that listing into contract. I'm offering my 100-point home marketing plan that is available right on the property website. And a lot of you aren't going to have 3 videos like I do. So this would be probably closer. And you can always move this wherever you want to. But so yeah, take a look at this later. Again, listingsleads.com/pending. I got 2 short videos here, how to do Instagram story with polls and links, and how to do TikTok. Larry says, I have a list of most likely to sell. What can I do with it? Well, I would send either the postcard or the letter to it for sure. That would be your best bet. Yeah. Now, again, the letter's a little bit, I don't want to say trickier, but you're going to want to use either Mailbox Power, Thanks.io, or Zaire, Zair Mail, ZaireMail.com, or you use the postcard and get that postcard to them. Definitely. Yeah. Larry, are you talking about buyers? But yeah, if you got a list like that, for sure, I would definitely get that postcard to them. And then every couple of weeks, you can come in here. Like for example, if I go to a PDF guide, we got postcards for the PDF guides as well. So I can come up here, and this could be a great one. So for example, if I go, right, we got a lot of different guides. Let me see, downsizing, maybe it's one word. What is downsizing, how to, and more. If I go to marketing tools, postcards and door hangers. Now, what I would do is, oh, hold on a second. Let's wait that to come up. And I think Thanks.io, I don't know about Zaire, but I'm pretty sure Thanks.io and Mailbox Power both have the ability to do dynamic home images. So that means whatever home I'm sending this to will have their home right on the postcard and a dynamic QR code. So check it out right here. Let me click download. I'll just download the front. And I would replace this image with the dynamic image of their home. Right there. So you can upload that into Mailbox Power, Thanks.io, I believe as well, Zaire Mail. They scan the QR code. They are able to download the PDF guide, in this case for downsizing, or you could do whatever, right? 5 dangers of overpricing your home. We have so many different guides that you can use. So I would do that. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. Any other questions? 9:54. If I come back here. All right. Are we good? All right, everybody. Listen, thank you so much for joining us. Get into the mastermind group. Get with our support team if you need more help with anything. Let us know how we can be of help. And I think at 5:00 today, let me real quickly here. Oh, we got a great one. So 5:00, we're going to do how to 8x your Facebook ROI. Yeah, let me see if I can bring that up, and I'll give that to everybody here. Let me bring that up, and I'm going to grab the link, and I'm going to give it to you. And that way, if you want to join us tonight at 5 o'clock, I'll put the link right there. So if you want to join us at 5 o'clock tonight, you're probably sent an email. You can get into the mastermind group. If you need any help with that, let us know, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.